how do you think this would benefit, say, you say you work with 98% African-American, Black youth in America.
Yeah.
How do you think a trip like this would benefit them?
It's so necessary because our youth are so stuck in their bubble in which that's all that they know. And then they're being taught in school things that aren't even relevant or right. Or sometimes they're not even being taught at all.
Hey everybody, I'm here in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm talking to Doris. Doris is on her first international trip ever as a part of this partnership with Urban Intellectuals and Maximum Impact. And you are here, you've had the time of your life.
I have had the time of my life.
This is the first time.
International, ever.
International.
Ever.
In your life.
In my life.
Why?
It never happened. I got in my head all the time, and you overthink it and think like, how do we do it? And something came over me when Maxine came to Sherry and I and said, let's go to Africa. And it was literally like, okay. And then after I was like, no, I don't want to go. And then we went on a Zoom call. And
was I there?
It was
Freddie
and Freddie.
That's right.
And the way you guys spoke and the way it said it was going to be handled, I'm like, okay, maybe this is the best way to do an international trip, is have somebody kind of help out and sort it out, and the questions that I did have in my mind, have it sorted out. And from there, we were just like, let's do it. We started our payment plans. And that was even better because you don't think about it all in one time. Is like, as you go, you just put a payment in. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, it's so far away. And then all of a sudden it's February 23rd.
And here you are.
And I'm here.
And you got your passport like the day before? Is that how it all planned out?
Okay, so this is what happened.
Okay, what had happened was?
What had happened was, and my pain is your gain. If there is an express passport agency in your state,
do it now.
You can set it up 14 days within travel.
Really?
14 days, you hear me?
Here's a
so
nugget.
Even if you're thinking about last minute of going, within 14 days of travel, you can go to the Express Passport Agency. You bring everything that you need. You go take your picture at CVS or you can get it taken there. I walked in, set it down. I was scared because I didn't even think this trip was gonna be real until I had the passport in my hand. But you literally set it down. You have to show I was coming here. Your team did an amazing job. Because I think they sent me like 7 times. You got your passport yet? I was like, no, I'm so sorry.
Just a reminder.
I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't yet. But they, helped me through. It's like navigating and making sure that I got the itinerary. I gave them an itinerary. So I went in at 10 a.m. and then walked out at 1 p.m.
With your passport?
With the passport.
All right, that's a nugget, everybody. You can get your passport in a very short time frame. So we're taking that excuse away. Especially when traveling here to South Africa or someplace like Egypt, for sure.
No excuses, and I mean that.
Now that you have been here,
yes,
what has the experience been like for you?
I don't know that I have words yet. I mean, going outside of the United States and going outside of your bubble is surreal. Like, to see the way the rest of the world operates. And my students, 98% of my students are African American. I grew up, half Lebanese, half Hispanic in a really, really rough neighborhood. They call me the little mixed child because they didn't know how to characterize me. So knowing myself, but knowing my students and who they are and their culture was so important to me. So this was a lot of work for ourselves, but also learning everything else. I mean, as far as my students in the culture and the things they don't teach us. They don't teach the stuff you learn here.
Give me like
over
maybe one thing that you might have learned that you didn't know before you came.
Gandhi.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna challenge you. Because we heard something about Gandhi that we never heard before.
Oh right, about Gandhi. Oh yeah.
We didn't know that until we were actually here.
That's right. Now, I'd heard that before.
Did you?
I had heard that before. and you all kind of go look and check that maybe Mr. Gandhi wasn't as favorable towards certain people as it was presented over the years, as it was framed. So go research it. That's something to check out.
And in being just here and actually seeing it and experience it, and we had this amazing tour guide. Herbie, this man knows everything. You ask every question. I mean, the elephant, we didn't know this elephant started chasing us down. We didn't know whether to stop, and he's like, oh no, the ears were flapping. I mean, the video is surreal, and he had so much knowledge of just all these things that any question you had, he was able. And we already know, Jay, how many times have you been here?
Oh, well, this is my fourth time, South Africa.
Fourth time.
Yeah.
If you see a picture, and you have to put this in the video of all of us, is we will conjugate around Jay. We're like, Jay, what time are we eating? Jay, what time are we going to breakfast? Jay,
somebody asked
what
me,
time is what?
Somebody asked me, what's the difference between summer camp and leading tours with adults to Africa? I said, there's no difference.
There is
no difference at all.
Jay, are we gonna get coffee at 6:30 in the morning?
Are we there yet?
Jay,
I
are
need to
we
go to the
there
bathroom.
But that is what is worth that, because when you get in your mind, and all of us women on this trip are very strong, independent women.
Absolutely.
We had a fierce group of women, but it's just like sometimes you want to just relax when you're on vacation.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy
and you don't
yourself.
want to think, but I could tell it was. I think it was. I could tell that it was hard for some people to not think, but it was fine.
But it was okay.
Yeah.
But then when they wanted to ask you a question, you knew they would ask.
Or I could get the answer. I could get the answer if I didn't know it right offhand. I could say, hey, hold on one second, let me get that for you.
And that's why it was respected, because he didn't tell us what he didn't, and then you'll just see him like this, head down.
Yeah, I'm known for that.
That's it. Not even a look up.
They already know. They know.
Don't even look up. It's just straight. And then,
let me get this for you.
Yep, and then answer is like literally straight up too. But honestly, Jay, this was my birthday. I was gonna do a regular 40th birthday. No, I can't do that now. I don't want to do that.
Oh, you can't do a regular one. Oh boy. So when do you turn 40?
May 27th.
So right around the corner.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's taking you almost 40 years to travel internationally.
Yes.
That's a note. Check that in the book. Now, some people have not done it at all, and they may be 60, 70.
They haven't.
Have you feared for your safety at all? I mean, because that's what they tell us when you come to Africa. Oh, you better be
Listen, look at me. You would think, honestly, that I have. And there's definitely, you put your guard up. I grew up in Detroit.
Detroit City.
I grew up in Detroit.
So you got some street cred with you. You got a whole lot of street cred.
You got homeless people that come up, just like you have over there. You have hustlers that come in the street. Mm-hmm. You have that stuff too. But even if you don't, because the women that didn't have that too, it's just basically all the security guards. They will not let you go anywhere. All of us women, we stayed together. That's the difference of going with a group versus going by yourself and trying it.
Right.
If you go with a group and know you're protected, and I don't know if they can see the places we went to and where we stayed at.
Oh yeah, well we'll make sure they know.
This is not the Holiday Inn or the Roof. What is
it?
The
Holiday Inn is trying to step their game up. I heard Holiday Inn is trying to step it. It's got a long way to go.
Okay.
You talking about the Red Roof Inn? The Motel 6.
Yes.
Super Motel 8.
Okay, Holiday Inn, but where did we stay?
Voco. Yes.
Voco, I met a lot of the staff too. Yes. I have to say, yes. Holiday Inn, we met a couple of the general managers. They are stepping their game up, and they know to call.
There's a nice one. There's a nice one in Jordan. There's a nice Holiday Inn in Jordan.
They know to call. Just cut that one out right there.
We can leave that in there.
Just cut that one out. Where were we at?
So with that though, how do you think this would benefit, say you say you work with 98% African American Black youth in America.
Yeah.
How do you think a trip like this would benefit them?
It's so necessary, because our youth are so stuck in their bubble, in which that's all that they know. And then they're being taught in school things that aren't even relevant or right. Or sometimes they're not even being taught at all. To have them go not only in an educational standpoint, but to be able to travel, is most people who have had a win in life, a mentor or some type of coach or some type of after-school program changed their life. Usually you hear about that teacher, and it's never that teacher that was just the
system teacher.
Right.
It was always that one that said, "Hey, I'm going to teach you outside of this."
Teach you outside of this. Teaching someone outside of anything is the best way to teach somebody and get them out of their comfort zone.
How do you think youth from other ethnic groups, maybe white youth or Latino youth, could benefit from something like this?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm half Lebanese and half Mexican, and I think understanding. And I don't want to get too technical, but if you watch history books or you hear certain things, where do we stem from? Where do we stem from? We didn't stem from, and we did not start as a species in the United States.
Oh, gotcha. Understood.
We started somewhere else.
Understood.
And I think understanding, it may not be for everyone, okay? Maybe South Africa is not for you, maybe Ghana's not, but maybe Colombia is.
Right,
or maybe there's
right.
another part, that's why you do.
I do go to all of the different African diaspora, different places, yes.
There's different parts you can go to, but you get to choose.
Yes.
Right? You get to choose where you want to go.
That's right.
For me, I think this was a good way for me to start, because it was still a little bit city.
Oh, it's a whole lot of city now.
Still a little that where it helped me transition, but enough like outside culture. Good balance between the city and the outside culture for me personally, to have a balance of both, where I still had my comfort zone and still being able to expose myself to something new. And that worked
and
for
you
me.
talked about maybe not South Africa, may be for some people, may not be. It just depends on whatever you prefer.
Pick what you want, stop making excuses, go outside of your little city or your little town and explore what the rest of this world is.
And you get to realize that everybody's living their life, and we're not the only people in the world, and so many people are living life and experiencing things and cultures.
Go live your purpose. You're here, you're alive, I'm talking to you. You're alive, you're breathing. Go do something different. Quit the excuses, even if I get it maybe financially, that's usually a barrier. Reach out to me. I promise you, I'll find you a funding source. I'll tell you what I did mentally too.
Oh, really? So how you did it?
How I did
mentally. How
mentally.
can people find you?
So you can reach out to me, Doris Hay. It's lifeonpurposedetroit.com.
Lifeonpurposedetroit.com. All right.
But you can find me on Facebook, reach out. If you feel like you need to go and this video talks to you, I'm serious, reach out. I will share my experience of how I went for my first international trip. And I did it.
You did it. And we're excited for you.
And I'm about to cry because I don't want to go home. He already knows. I'm like, I don't want to go home.
Well, this is the first of many trips.
Yes.
And that's the deal, the first of many trips.
Yeah, and our group decided too, we're gonna stick together.
And keep traveling.
And keep traveling once a year. We're gonna keep going on different things. So.
All right. Well,
you
heard it, everybody. So make sure you sign up for the next Urban Intellectuals Travel Movement Experience as the partnership here with Maximum Impact. And now this is what we're doing. So you can get Urban Intellectuals flashcards, sign up for the Sankofa Club, and just become a part of all of this education. And you're seeing that the gap is being bridged, cultural gaps, ethnic gaps, information gaps, and who knows where this is going to end up. So that's the deal. So make sure you subscribe, like, share today, and let somebody know about what we're doing here. Urban Intellectuals and Maximum Impact, the partnership. Talk to you soon. Take care. Be safe.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa, in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on our children's level so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the adventures of Darren and Destiny.